everybody. Welcome to Adobe on content creation. Today's topic is ang hirap naman mag-isip ng content. How to create effective content strategy for different platforms. I'm your host for today. My name is Chase Sinsuan. I'm from ABS-CBN Corporate. You probably have never heard of me. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not big on Instagram. I probably only have like 500 followers. I'm a tito. So I think what I do for a living is that I help people learn technical and digital skills. So like you, I'm here to matter experts and other content creators. With me today is my co-host Gelo Buencamino. Gelo, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Chase. Hi, everyone watching the live stream. I'm Gelo Buencamino. I'm a content creator. I create lifestyle, fashion, and travel videos. And I'm also a host from time to time. So yes, welcome to our live, everyone.
All right, so today's topic is how to create effective content strategies for different platforms. Now, this is the second of a six-part webinar series for content creators where we talk about different aspects of content creation, different strategies for creating content, whether you're a new content creator or a seasoned content creator, this series is for you. So last Wednesday, our previous session was hosted by Prince de Guzman, no? And the topic was how to choose the right content as a content creator. We had Nate Punsalan out there, we had Mitch Ligayu, we had Vladimir Grand from Tik-Tok provide with us their best practices and skills as content creators. So Gelo, why don't you introduce to us and tell us about Adober University?
So Adobe University, a lot of people want to become a content creators, especially now, and the millennials. So in Adobe University, we talk about things where you can learn from our guests and advice and tips and tricks on creating better content. Especially now in our episode, it is how to create an effective content strategy. So you guys will learn more about that in our episode.
That's right. So we have different kinds of content. So we have long form content on YouTube. We have short form, bite-sized content that you can put on TikTok. Lots of different content, images, all that. So there's various forms of media and platforms where you can also publish your content too. But for today's session, we're going to change it up a little bit. We'd like to ask you, our audience members, our guests, what would you like to learn from today's webinar? So please send us your comments and feedback on what you expect to learn from today's webinar. Ano ba yung gusto niyong matutunan? Ba kayong gustong itanong? Ano yung mga gusto niyong itanong sa Facebook or sa YouTube or sa TikTok? If you have any questions you would like to raise, please comment them, and don't forget to use the hashtag that Gelo just mentioned earlier, hashtag Adobe University. And then we'll get back to those comments and questions later on. But for now, I'd like to introduce our speakers. We have really, really good speakers. It's going to be really interesting this afternoon. No? We have the following speakers. So Pablo Mendoza is the Philippines country head for YouTube Content Partnership. He joins us from Singapore. We have Rhea Leorag from TikTok Philippines. And we also have another content creator like Gelo, Beverly Kumla, or Bebs. So I'd like you guys to introduce yourselves. Let's start with, who wants to start first? Bebs, you want to go first?
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Beverly Kumla. I'm a content creator. My content is all about, hugot films, spoken word poetry, more of hugot talk, more of about pain and love in general. So yeah, that's it.
I can go next if you want. Hello, everyone. My name is Pablo Mendoza. Although this sounds Filipino, I'm from South America, unfortunately. And I don't have many followers on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, I
just like me.
Just lots of creators, fortunately. Yeah.
Hi guys, I hope you can hear me clearly. My name is Rhea Leorag. I work with TikTok Philippines operations team. I am also not famous.
Probably more famous than me. All right, awesome. So, Gelo, why don't you talk to us about Adobers and what Adobers does?
Okay, yes. So Adobe University or Adobe Studios is a 6-part webinar series that will talk about different aspects of content creation. This webinar series is for aspiring content creators and those who want to learn more about creating content on different online platforms. And I noticed that it's easier to become viral or an online sensation per se overnight, but it's a lot harder to sustain and maintain that level of success as time comes by. That's when the discipline comes, your engagement with your target audience, and how to create an effective content strategy, and while staying authentic consistently. So it can be a bit overwhelming for aspirants and people starting out palang. That's why we have this webinar series and our guests to help you out. And if you'd like to see more of our Adobe University or the content that Adobe Studios puts out, please subscribe to Adobe Studios FB page, which is Adobe Studio ABS-CBN and YouTube channel, Adobe Studios. And you can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, that is at Adobe Studios. And use our official hashtag, which is Adobe's University. So we'll see all your questions, all your expectations, and all your questions, and we'll hopefully answer a lot of them in this live.
Great. So I think you touched on that topic, Gelo, and it's really difficult to actually start. But in the previous live stream, we heard from Nate, from Mitch, from Prince, and from Vlad that consistency is one of the key aspects of really being successful online. But today's topic is about content strategy, and I think with any strategy, you have to start with a mission, a vision, di ba? Parang what's your brand philosophy? What's your vision for yourself? How do you want to put yourself out there? But also strategy really begins with a really good goal. What goals would you like to achieve for your channel, for your brand image? And there are different kinds of strategies. We teach this in ABS-CBN University. So for digital, diba, if you want to be visible, it's visibility. You want to have more fans, you want to have more likes. Another strategy is if it's engagement, diba, you want to have followers, you want to interact with your audience. Another one is loyalty, diba? So do you if you're promoting a brand or an advertiser. And then finally, of course, is conversion. So you want to talk about monetizing the content that you publish. That's also another objective or goal that you would also like to set for yourself. So do we have questions, Gelo, from our
live stream questions? We have expectations. We have tips on how to grow my followers. A lot of them are asking for advices.
Okay, so tips on how to grow my followers. Another question that we received is to know what works in each online platform. So great, because we have from YouTube in this webinar, we also have a platform head for TikTok in this webinar, so we can ask those questions. Advice on creating content, whether it's for Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. Okay, great, awesome questions. We're gonna go through those as we speak to our subject matter experts today. So let's start with the first question. All right, let me just. Question. I seem to have lost it. Okay, here we go. Apologies for that. All right, first question for our speakers, for our experts today. But what type of content works in your platform? So Pablo is from YouTube, Rhea is from TikTok. What type of content works in your platform, and what type of content should we avoid? Rhea, you want to start?
All right. Okay, so first off, as you all probably already know. So TikTok is a short form video platform. In terms of video length, you can go anywhere from 0 to 60 seconds in the videos that you upload. So we're a home for creative expression. So in terms of content that work, what we're really seeing is that real and creative videos that make people's day. These TikTok is known for having a positive atmosphere, promoting a positive atmosphere. So you're really supposed to create content that's real to you, expressing your truths in a creative way. Um, some tips: it should be, of course, short. It should be punchy and attention grabbing. You have these few seconds to grab the attention of your viewers. um we're a weird and diverse platform, and there's content for everyone. Currently you'll see that dance comedy is big still, but there are also other types of content that are getting traction and engagement right now, like DIY or memes or POVs. um so in terms of what works, those are some of the categories that you can try. But also just focus on what your expertise is and what's real to you. In terms of what type of content to avoid, we in TikTok, of course, focus on making TikTok a safe space for creative expression. And so basically, how we tell creators this is that what you will not do or show in public, don't show on TikTok. Even if you're just at home, even if you're just shooting, if you would not be comfortable to show that in public, then don't post it on TikTok. So, of course, avoid controversial content, your violent, sexual acts, whatever, harassment, discrimination. Um, some stuff that are also discouraged: static images. We want to keep the platform as dynamic as possible.
All content that goes and tries to promote violence, that's something we don't allow in the platform. But then when it comes to content that is that we recommend, it's actually, I would like to go to the first thing that you mentioned about creating content that you're actually passionate about. And the reason why this might sound a bit philosophical, but it's actually very practical. And for if you look at any creator you follow, you will see that there's a lot of hard work, a lot of time spent creating content and creating videos consistently. And I remember at the beginning you said consistency was discussed in the previous, in a different call webinar, and that's the key for success. I would say for everything, but also for YouTube. So consistency is key. Since consistency is key, you want to make sure you choose something you really like to create, because you need to enjoy the journey. Then the rest will follow. Then in terms of content, recently we've seen a surge in learning content. People who wants to teach other people to do other stuff, right? Yoga has grown recently, but also music is huge on YouTube. So in Philippines, I don't know any Filipino who doesn't sing. So all content is welcome on YouTube, and you can see examples like Mikey Bustos. You all know it, he has a channel about ants. So if he can have a successful channel on ants, anything is possible. Yeah.
Yeah, ants and his other exotic pets. Before I move on to Bev, I have a question for Rhea. Rhea, I think I really
Yes.
like the creativities demonstrated by the content creators in TikTok. Those check videos. Where did those originate? Really, are they ideas coming from TikTok, or were they just created by, some kid somewhere in the US, or was it
Or in
organically
Africa.
developed? Or in Africa? Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, a lot of the trends that go viral are really organic. It's some content that a user created somewhere in the States, and it trends, and it gets copied by other people. You're right. The I think that's check meme, like blank check, that got really big on TikTok US and also here. So usually, most of the time, it really starts with the users, because that's really the main characteristic of TikTok, like how how it's easily copied and done by other creators. But on our side, when we see these trends that are going up, when we see that the numbers, oh, there are a lot of people doing these videos, and we and TikTok would like to promote that. So we also we program these trends on the discovery page so that more people can see them and it can be promoted.
Great. Now we're going to switch over our perspective to content creators. So we have Bevs, who's a big YouTube star. Tell us, what do you think are the type of content that really works for YouTube, and what content do you try to avoid as much as you can?
For YouTube, well, a lot of people have known me through my spoken word poetry. So, hindi ko pinabayaan yun eh. Once na kasi nag-viral ka on your videos, kailangan ituloy-tuloy mo siya until ma-discover ka ng ibang mga audience mo. So, what's more important is not just the content, but your purpose. Kung ano yung gusto mong sabihin sa tao, kung ano yung gusto mong ibigay sa kanila. Hindi kasi pwedeng gagawa lang tayo ng content because kailangan, because gusto lang natin. We are creating because we want to tell something. Kailangan may puso, maramdaman nila yon. And siguro, yun yung pinaka nakikita kong bakit bumabalik yung tao. Pinili kong maging boses ng mga pusong hindi nagsasalita. So, yeah. Well, what to avoid for me, I agree na yung mga sensitive topic, controversial, kasi once na nagsalita ka, kailangan educated ka din. You have to do your research and all that. Hindi mo dapat ilabas kung ano yung bagay na hindi ka comfortable ilabas. Kasi maraming butas maraming pwedeng makita na ikaw mismo nag-educate ka but you are not educated at all. So, ang hirap nun. Also, you should be, your content should be relevant. Hindi lang pwede na mag-ingay ka lang, magsalita ka lang, pumunta ka lang. Kailangan meron laging importance yung nilalabas mo na content. That's for me.
Excellent. I think, Bev, yung content mo is very vulnerable, and I feel like I don't even know if I can do it myself, kasi parang you're really just peeling off the onions, layers of yourself out in public. So it's both a creative and a very pure talent, no?
Yeah.
You, Gelo, what do you think are what works best for you as a content creator?
I think, to put it in simpler terms, for me, I think it's just really finding what makes you yourself, or what makes you stand out from other people, because you can have the same name as another person, but I think what really sets you apart is the content that you put out there. And I think you can never sort of really run out of content when you put yourself out there, like in the world, or like outside your house, in your community, because there's always something that's going on around town or in society. So if you just really invest yourself in becoming present and looking really outside of the box, then I think you'll never really run out of content, So before we move on to the second topic, we'd like to give and go through the shout outs that people are commenting on our live stream. Hi guys. We have from Christine Manalo. Hi, Ate Beverly. We have from Lorafel Balagtas. Jalubi, hi. Welcome to our live stream. We have Ellie Arellano. Hello po. Hello, Ellie. Nice to see you on our live. And to everyone watching. So yes, thank you for joining our live, guys.
Dami talagang fans ni
Hi.
Bevs. Meron tayong question. Sikat. Meron tayong question from Angeline Edrosa. How do you become an effective content creator? Ano ba yung mga kailangan na qualities na meron ka? So let's talk about that. From question from Angeline. What qualities do you need to have as a content creator, and what's considered effective? Let's start with YouTube. What's considered effective in YouTube?
So I would say that, of course, putting aside what we already mentioned, that is about, creating content you are passionate about, that you want because of several reasons. If you ask any creator that has a successful channel, they, at the very least, cover the basics, which is thumbnails, titles. That there's a lot of work behind that. That's one. The other thing is paying attention to the engagement that you generate throughout the videos, right? So on YouTube, it started many years ago with short videos, and now as users, I'm sure you see that all of a sudden you open your phone, you start watching a 5-minute video, then 10, and you stay and stay. So retaining your audience is very important. And for that, there are different strategies. You can find a lot of information online, official information that we share with every creator. But some of these are engaging with the audience on the comments or the community tab, asking for ideas for content. So that makes it makes the content maybe more interesting, and then makes people subscribe and come back to your channel, which at the end of the day makes it a successful, effective channel. Everything, and I will have to repeat it, has to be on the base of liking what you're doing, because of all the reasons mentioned, including the ability to think more ideas and never run out of ideas. I think that was a great point as well.
Yeah, I think we talk about in the classes that we deliver in ABS-CBN, we have a lot of science and technical skills behind being effective in YouTube. But you're right, it really boils down to talent, and if your content is inspired, if it's passionate, then it will become visible to your audience. So you talk about community, Pablo. Also, I heard from Rhea earlier. You talked about the page. Is that right? How to your audience if you're a content creator? What best practices can you do? Can you apply to your content to really make it shine and to make it stand out from other content?
Sorry, at some point I couldn't hear. This is for me, for Rhea.
For anybody, actually. Let's start with Rhea this time. Rhea?
Okay. Sorry, but I did not hear the first part of the question.
Okay. I think it's my connection. I apologize. It's the rain. Umuulan na dito ng malakas. Okay, ulitin ko yung question. So, how do I make my content discoverable to my audience? How do I increase the discoverability of my content, let's say on TikTok?
Okay. Just to add also to what Pablo was saying earlier, all those things are also essential in terms of staying interesting on TikTok. But since we're very much a content-based platform, you have to be consistent about it. Like even if you have like 1 million followers, if they don't see you on their feed practically every day, every other day, they'll most likely forget about you because there's so much content out there. So really, aside from what has been mentioned, you have to consistently be able to create interesting content and also be engaging to your audience. So in terms of what makes interesting content, first is it has to be okay. There are two sides to it. Of course, on TikTok, there is a need to follow the trends, what you're seeing, because that's how you get to For You pages. That's how you get to more people. So you have to see what other people are doing. Check your discovery page, check your For You page, and if you want to follow those trends, you can either do what they're already doing or be creative about it. There's a lot of ways to get creative. Like even if it's a basic song and dance, there's a lot of ways to own that, to be unique about that. So that's the other side to it. You have to be unique. There has to be something unique about you that your followers or people who are new to your content will find interesting and will make them check your profile and follow you. Because if you're always just dancing the trends, you're basically just like everyone else on TikTok. So why would I follow you? So like follow the trends, but also create content that's unique to you. Yeah, I think that's really good.
Great advice. For Pablo on YouTube, the way that I discover content is by using the search bar, and I do a lot of I search a lot of videos about topics that I'm interested in, like cooking, for example, or scuba diving, and that's how I find channels and pages that appeal to me. But what's your advice for making content discoverable for the right audience?
If you have a pretty healthy channel, you will see that your top traffic sources are search, which is what you mentioned, and suggested videos, which is, I'm a user watching a video, unrelated video, right? And then I see a video of your channel, and then I go and discover your channel. So these are your usually top two traffic sources, which, by the way, I'm also trying to say, pay attention to analytics. That's the key to understand your audience. Now, if you want to improve and optimize your results in these two traffic sources, you need to play around with trends, as was mentioned, as well as maybe tentpole events. Halloween happens, you can prepare content around Halloween beforehand. You can check Google Trends to see how much people search for Halloween when, so that you can upload content related to that a few weeks behind, so that when people actually start searching more about Halloween, you have already a video that is being watched by other users, right? So that's one. Another thing can be creating playlists, content that is connected to each other. Refer your fans to watch other videos that you've created in the past. You can collaborate with other creators so that you can in some way exchange your audiences as well. And this taps into another great point, that is how important it is to build a community of creators so that you can discuss things that are happening to you. And maybe Adobe Studios can be that home to talk to other creators alike that are, can share the same passions and fears sometimes, and doubts and questions. So discoverability is a huge topic. I would focus on these particular things that I've mentioned when I start. At the very minimum, I would do that.
Great. So lots of different tools and techniques that you can use. Google Trends, and other websites that you also have in your arsenal of tools. But let's talk to Bevs. So, Bevs, you're a content creator. How do you make your content super discoverable to those who follow you on YouTube?
Yeah. Just like what Pablo said, it's very important to collaborate. One of my videos that I actually made recently is a video call series. So we can't actually collaborate today because it's pandemic, we are all locked down. But through this, technology, like this Zoom, we came up with a video call series, and I have this story of two different persons na nagkakilala sa video call, and I made it a series. I collaborated with Benedict Ramos, which I think we are like-minded individuals. We both have passion in film, in storytelling, and in acting. So I think it is very important to actually look for another creator na pwede mong pagsaluhan ng sarili mong storya, and then make something about it. Especially ngayon, sinakyan namin yung trend because it's quarantine. So I made it quarantine love story. So people could actually search quarantine, and then makikita nila yung video na yon. So since lahat tayo naka-lockdown, we are looking for entertainment, and I think isa yon sa mga paraan para makapagbigay ka ng positivity. Love is very important. Love is universal. So when we talk about love, yung mga tao mabilis nag-engage sa ganong kind ng content. So yeah, it's all about the trend, collaborate, and use your platform to actually tell stories in a positive ways. Yeah.
Alam mo naman pag mga Pilipino, no, pag love na yung pinag-uusapan, it's really something that they really they really hang on to love stories. Kwento ang hinahanap ng mga Pinoy.
Yeah.
I think it's that's what Filipinos are really after, is a really good story.
Yes.
Gelo, what about you? I think you have videos about love as well.
I have a few content about love. I talked about anxiety and mindset because I think not just focusing on things that are relatively entertaining or good also, but I think especially during these times, not a lot of
Yeah.
people have people to talk to right now. So if they could see someone online talking about things that are more relatable, things that are more personal, then I think they'll be able to really just alleviate on how they feel and sort of uplift one another, because I think that's
Yeah.
what we need right now. So if you can put inspirational content out there, I say, right, why not? Huh?
Yeah.
Whether it's about love or just anything in between, like what Bev said. So yeah, I'm looking at the shout outs right now, and a lot of people are commenting. Hi guys. Jonalyn Gregorio says, stay safe po. Stay safe po kayong lahat. Hi Ate Bevs. Okay, stay safe also Jonalyn. Hi sa inyong mga tahanan. Mary Rose says, ang dami ko pong natutunan. Thank you. So yes, you're welcome, Mary. Hopefully everyone will be able to learn something new today, especially those who are starting out and not even starting out, because you'll just really learn and grasp the whole algorithm and tips from content creators and people who are on the show. So yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of algorithm, no, we have a question from Kim Lim. Sabi niya, as a creator with low subscriber count, how do I get the YouTube recommendation algorithm to work in my favor? Nako, okay, technical question. Pablo, you want to take that on? Do we need to know coding? Do we need to be a super technical person to understand this?
Absolutely. You only can understand if you're an engineer. I'm kidding. This mighty algorithm gets a lot of questions, and everybody's is interested in understanding the algorithm. But at the end of the day, the algorithm is just a reflection of what people watch and what people like to watch. But to be more precise, maybe trying to understand the question that is behind it is how do I grow my audience, and how do I use YouTube in my benefit, right? I think there are a few ways to answer this. On the one hand is the more obvious things that we've just said, right? So using the tools, the different features that they are on YouTube to grow your audience, right? Engaging through comments, community, you can upload stories, then looking for other channels to collaborate. And I think that's the other point that is interesting. That is, YouTube is, of course, is a platform that has videos, but it's also a search engine. So you can use and leverage YouTube to find successful content, maybe in other countries. And you can also find creators, maybe your size as well. They're also starting and connect through YouTube and say, hey, let's collaborate. So it's a tool. It's a tool that is very useful, not only for what it's usually seen, but also because of the other features that are maybe more behind the scenes. So there's a lot of value in a platform like YouTube to understand content trends, styles, editing. You can also learn so many things from YouTube for your channels. There are so many creators. They're actually teaching the teacher, right? So they're basically teaching how to grow a channel as well. So there are multiple ways in which you can use YouTube to your benefit. But specifically to grow your channel, I know this sounds basic, but at the beginning, just think what the big creators do. They don't miss the basic. Sounds basic because it is basic, but it's very important. Then consistency, you will grow. Try to be creative, try to understand trends, and try to find a way to tell stories, to do stuff in a different way, the way that reflects your own brand. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, not really to focus on technical, not to worry about the algorithm, but to really just focus on your niche, your content, your vision for your channel. I think is more important than algorithm. But what about TikTok? Is there an algorithm that we should be aware of, Rhea?
Well, essentially, it's very similar, but because the way the TikTok algorithm works is, as a user, whatever you watch more of, we give you more of. That's the basic gist of it. So when you're starting out and you're creating content, aside from, of course, creating your own original things, I've already mentioned this, but it's really important to follow the trend still, while keeping your unique identity. But also a tip that I wanted to give is keep, as a new creator, and also as a well-established creator, you should keep experimenting with the TikTok in-app editing tools, because that's something that gets updated like every week. And if you're seeing most of the what's trending right now, most of them are actually hinging on a new feature that we released. Like, oh, they have this cool thing where you can do like picture in picture, or you can react to someone, or duet with someone. That was an old thing. But like every week there are new features, people are trying out new things, and you should keep on experimenting with these different effects and filters, to also keep your videos getting shown to more people. Yeah.
Excellent. So I think we lost Bev. So we're gonna move on to the next question. We have a question from Therese. Sabi ni Therese, as a content creator, what advice would you give to your fellow YouTuber who is struggling to make a new content, like feeling nila is struggling to make a new content, like feeling nila boring or parang hindi magiging effective sa viewers? So I guess it's a sort of like an artistic block of some sort, and you're trying to inspire yourself. What advice can you give, Pablo?
So I would give this advice to everyone, not just those who are struggling, to every creator, even if your content is going super well. I would try to be smart about it, and I would try to, from time to time, try a new format, a new content, something different, to, in some ways, test the waters. Then when you try that, you will also test and see if the audience is liking what you're creating, this new format, this new content. And then you will never run out of idea or fuel, or you will never find your content boring, because you will be mutating as you feel. Then more particularly for those who might be struggling, and if it is, they're tired and they are creating a lot of content, I would also say take your time, rest, take breaks. I talk to a lot of creators, and I think I told you some of my friends, best friends, are creators. And at some point, they can be very obsessed with this algorithm, right? And they go and go crazy. And sometimes, as in any other activity, you sometimes need to take a break and think for a week, 2 weeks, take a break, holidays, and then come back to what you really, really like. And that might be counterintuitive, but it does help. So that's one option. Then also share what you're feeling with your other colleagues, friends, and they will be also helpful to come up with new ideas and initiatives. That would be my advice for them. Maybe I was speaking by myself.
I think Chase is
Okay,
muted.
yeah, I think we lost Chase over here.
Sorry.
But yeah, that was very helpful, Pablo. Yeah.
I just lost my connection
So
for a
I'm
little while.
going through the comment section, and a lot of people are saying hi to shoutouts. Hi, Adrian Pangilinan. Greetings from San Diego, California. Wow, all the way around the world. Therese is asking. Oh, there's Chase. Yeah, Therese is asking, as a content creator, what advice would you give to your fellow YouTuber? It's the rain. All right, so yeah, it's a bit lagging, but Therese would say, as a content creator, what advice would you give to your fellow YouTuber who is struggling to make a new content, like feeling nila boring or parang hindi magiging?
Is it my connection or?
I think we lost Gelo as well. Am I back? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Ish, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm back also.
Yeah. Gelo, are you there? Can you read again for us, please?
Okay, yeah. Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We're both in the south. It's raining
Okay,
cats
yeah.
and
So
dogs where
going
we
through the
are. So
comments. Hello? Therese says, as a content creator, what feeling daw nila boring or parang hindi magiging effective sa viewers? Is Bev here? Maybe Bev can answer. Okay, I guess I'll just answer this. As a content creator, I guess it's quite easy for people to be disappointed, especially for the young people with the content that they put out there. Because whenever we see people's content, we develop a certain taste to the content that we see. So when your taste is way up here, like it's way above you, and you realize that the content that you put out there doesn't really match with your taste or your expectation of yourself, simply because I think your skill is way below here. And so it doesn't really parallel to that, So if you're starting a YouTube channel or whether TikTok or in any social media platform, I think you really have to focus on your skill, day by day, whether that's going through editing or having that confidence to put out there with your content or finding what really makes you different, not just going with the trends also. And just working on your skill day by day. So eventually it would meet your taste and it will become parallel. So yeah, I think that's how you cannot be so disappointed with yourself, or you wouldn't rather be putting out content there that is boring. Rather, that's more relatable and that's more of your taste by working on your skills. So yeah, going through the comment section, we have On Castro. Hello, On. Hi po kay Jenica. I follow you on TikTok po. Yeah, Adrian, as I was saying earlier, is watching from San Diego. Hello, hello. Welcome to our live.
yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
great. I was saying kanina that I lost my connection because all of a sudden the rain just poured, and I was on my mobile data, so bigla na lang nag-disconnect. Anyway, I hope you can hear me. We're now going to talk about uh, things that we don't know about the platforms, little known facts about
Yeah.
YouTube and TikTok. What are those things that not a lot of people know about TikTok that you might want to share with us, Rhea?
Okay. I'm not sure if this is little known actually, but I would just like to tell everyone that hashtag for you, hashtag FYP, and hashtag for you page will not get you to the for you page.
Revelation.
Yeah. Just wanted to share that. So it getting to the for you page is really based on like who has seen your video, if a diverse set of people have seen your video, and also a lot of other things in the algorithm as well. So but you're free to use those hashtags. I mean, no harm in that.
Now you know. Okay, it's not negative there. What about YouTube? What are those little known facts?
I'm thinking, and I think that for an audience of creators or people that are thinking about creating their channels, maybe it's interesting to know that in Philippines, in particular, everybody talks about YouTube growing really fast and becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, but I think few people know the numbers. And just to share one that I think could be relevant for all of you is, if you check in the past 4 years, we had very few big creators. And I don't know who in the audience was watching and following creators back then. Today, just 3.5, 4 years later, we have 20 times more creators with 100,000 subscribers than
Wow.
4 years ago. Wow. 20 times. And the same thing happens with channels with more than 1 million subscribers. So now there are many, many more, 20 times more than just a few years ago. And the trend continues going up like crazy. So I think that's something that everybody sees, but no one has the numbers. I have the numbers, so happy to share.
Great. Bevs, you're back. Welcome back.
She's
Hi,
on mobile
Bevs.
now.
Welcome back.
Can you hear us?
I'm using my phone.
And the connection's
There
really
we
good. That's
go.
surprising. Thank you, Bevs, for coming back. Sige, questions from the comments. Chef Zichi, sabi niya, good afternoon. I'm a content creator on YouTube and also a TikToker. The question is, can we upload our teaser video on TikTok for advertisers? To advertise your videos and so that we can gain more viewers and subscribers on YouTube. So using one platform for advertising towards the other platform. Is that possible?
Okay. No, we're competitors. No, I'm kidding. That's not true. Yes, yes, that's possible. Just as a tip, because a lot of people upload their teasers horizontally. That's actually not encouraged on TikTok. So if you're gonna make, I mean, you already spent lots of effort making your YouTube video. Make a really good vertical teaser as well to upload on your TikTok to lead people to your YouTube profile. Just in terms of if it works or not, I can't answer that. Maybe Pablo can, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of if it's allowed, definitely yes. Ideally, vertical teasers.
Pablo, does it work?
The answer is, use all the platforms and try to reach people in the best way you can. And every platform has their own features and even culture. Just take advantage of that. And yeah, absolutely, multi-platform strategy is the way to go.
And I think they're vastly different platforms from each other, the short form versus long form. So I think whatever works for you. But the thing is, Rhea, I actually watch compilations of TikTok videos, the dance challenges on YouTube. So I think that's a way for people to actually discover TikTokers is actually by going on YouTube and then searching for them on TikTok after seeing their videos on YouTube. Okay. Question from CJ07. Hi, I don't know if somebody asked this already, but is using YouTube playlist a good way to gather views? Pablo, is it a good way?
I think it is a good way. It's a feature, and yeah, you can definitely use it as long as it's consistent or experienced. That makes sense. And also, what you could do is whenever you share a new video you've just uploaded, let's say, instead of sharing the URL of your last video only, you can share the URL of the whole playlist that has the last video you uploaded, and then you can invite users to continue watching more of your content after watching your last upload. So that's also some strategy that some creators use.
Yeah, I think it's great if you have a series that you would like to watch, let people watch consecutively. I do that. I actually binge watch YouTube videos. Recently, I've actually discovered the Lemino channel, and I have him on my playlist, so I just keep watching him from one video to the next. So I think that's a great way as well. What about you, Bevs? Do you use playlists? You have a lot of content, and your poetry, your spoken poetry is also quite. You can actually do a playlist there.
Yeah, I actually have playlists. Yeah, the series that I made recently, yung Dito Lang Tayo, a video call series, I made para mas mabilis na nakikita ng tao yung sunod-sunod na video. So it is very important kasi nababalikan nila. Yung iba minsan kasi napapanood lang yung latest episode and then dahil may playlist, nakikita nila agad yung mga dati pa. So it's very important. Yeah, it works.
Okay. Meron tayong question from Earl or Art Heaven. Sabi niya, kailan at sa tingin niyo nagiging toxic at nagiging trash ang isang content?
Oh.
Maybe Bevs can answer this. Kailan nagiging trash at toxic ang isang content?
For me, sabi ni Ben, napag-usapan kasi na minsan kasi ang noisy na lang pero hindi na siya necessary na marinig. parang lagi tayong sumisigaw ng mga bagay na gusto nating sabihin sa tao but it's not relevant at all. Ang nangyayari kasi parang pinapagalitan na lang natin yung tao to the point na hindi na siya natututo. So we have to offer resolution. Kung sa tingin mo yung content mo ay nagbibigay ng problema sa isang pangyayari, kailangan bigyan natin siya ng solution, not just hinain mo lang yung problema. We have to do something about it. At kung sa tingin mo yung content mo yung makakagawa nun, then do it.
May question pa ako para sa iyo, Bevs, bago mawala yung connection mo. So my question is from Charo Limaco. Is regular posting really important? Okay, let me rephrase that question. Is regular posting really important? What if they only have videos for events, and the events don't really have a regular schedule? So do you do that? Do you do an events-based kind of posting?
Yeah. Like for example, it's Mother's Day. I actually make a spoken word about mothers. Kapag may mga, for example, may mga trending about something, gumagawa ako noon. Like for example, one of my favorites was Hello, sobrang naapektuhan ako doon. And I think a lot of people will actually feel kung ano yung naramdaman ko. So I made a spoken word about that movie. So yung mga ganon, mga special content, ginagawa ko yon. A lot of people called it hero content. Yung parang siguro every month, may hero content ka na tinatawag. Iba pa yung mga regular uploads mo. Yeah.
The Hero Hub Hygiene Framework, very effective for marketing. Pablo, what about you? Is it effective if you have like a content calendar, a content plan that is based on a holiday or an event that happens in the future? Can you do that?
I am a big fan of planning your content. So that's something I highly recommend, regardless of the type of content that your channel is about. And sometimes, content is connected to a particular set of events that you don't control and might not be as regular as you would like. But the ability or the benefit of planning ahead is also that you can actually overcome these irregularities and be able to create content consistently that, as we said, I personally think is the number one priority. So definitely that helps.
Okay. Gelo, meron pa ba tayong mga shoutouts? I think Gelo is on mute.
Okay. Okay, hello. There you go. We have from Adrian Pangilinan. He says, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate the shoutouts plus the topic in general. Thank you, Adrian. Hopefully it helps you a lot. And we have a couple of questions and expectations also. We have one for at the Bevco. How do you deal with creative blocks? Saan kayo kumukuha ng inspiration for your content?
Yeah. Yan yung laging tinatanong sa akin kasi almost every day since lockdown, nagsusulat ako na video ako, nagsushoot ako, and then ako. And merong mga time na parang hindi ko na alam kung anong ikikwento ko kasi parang lahat nasabi ko na. But then, sometimes, you have to ask people, how are you? Kamusta ka? Sa simpleng tanong na yon, ang dami mo nang makukuha. Ang dami mo nang kwentong gustong sabihin. Simple lang yun, pero ewan ko, mga simpleng ganun na tanong, ang dami mo nang, ang dami nang pagkukuhanan ng mga kwento na gusto mong sabihin sa ibang tao.
Yeah.
Don't forget, huwag mong pilitin yung sarili mo and all that, magpahinga. Kasi napupudpud tayo eh. Kapag pinilit natin yung isang bagay, talaga natin kayang gawin. Hindi rin magiging maganda yun. Kung wala ka nang makuha ang kwento sa sarili mo, kuha ka sa ibang tao. Ask them. Yeah.
Parang mahirap yun na kapag you vlog every day. If you publish daily vlogs, I
Yeah.
think that's what
Okay.
happens is
Yeah. That's
sometimes
helpful, right?
you lose sometimes you lose
So
ideas,
you can
right?
get inspiration from yourself and other people or the community.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Jello,
think
can you
that's
hear me?
possible. Or you go through a burnout, no?
That's true. Okay. May konting latency lang. So let's proceed now to the next part of the
Yes, sorry,
discussion.
it's a
So,
bit lagging.
let's talk about tips. So what life hacks can you share that our content creators can do today to become more effective and efficient in, producing and publishing content in your platforms? Let's start with Rhea first.
Okay, I think I was muted. Sorry. Well, I'm just basically gonna summarize the things I've already mentioned. First is strengthen your own branding, stay unique, but also lean into relevant trends whenever possible. Experiment with different formats in terms of editing your video, especially in short form. There's so much room to get creative in short form videos, so do that. Stay consistent. Keep engaging with your community as well. Those are the main things.
Great. Pablo?
Yeah, I would also do a summary of what I said. Right, there are many different tools you can use to engage with your audience, but I think that something that could help, and as a kind of life hack, is if you have a friend who likes numbers, who likes doing, usually creators are much more focused on the editorial part of the content creation process and leave behind the numbers. So if you have a friend that enjoys looking at the numbers, pairing and forming a partnership with that friend, that can be a cool life hack. I've seen many creators that had a chance because they didn't plan. When they started, they worked with a friend, and the friend took full responsibility of looking at the numbers and coming up with ideas based on what the audience or how the audience reacts. And that was a really, all these creators grew faster than those who did it by themselves fully. Sometimes learning to delegate and to build partnerships is really transformative. So other than what you can find on websites and on our help centers and resources online, I'd rather give that tip.
Awesome. Ate Bevs, ano mga tips mo?
Yeah. Sorry if log ako. I don't know if I'm log. But tips as a content creator, I think very important that you have to know your branding. You have to know yourself. Also your audience. You have to know your target market. Kasi dyan iikot kung ano yung gusto mong ilabas na content. But
Okay. I think we're having some technical difficulties lang. Or is it just me?
I think we are. Yes, just a
Yeah.
bit.
Sayang, nuggets of wisdom ni Bevs. So what about you, Jello? What tips can you share as a content creator?
Yeah, I think adding to what Bev was saying, just staying true to your branding in a way. I think one of the steps that you really know your brand through over time is just through self-awareness. What you're really interested in, what are your hobbies, and if you run out of content from your personal self, then like what I said earlier, you can always go out of your house, find something what's happening in the community or in society. Maybe there's an event, or maybe there's some rare um, occurrence that's happening around town that Filipinos don't even know that are happening right now. But if you have the chance to make that possible, to shoot that event or that occurrence, then I say you should do it, simply because with social media these days, it's so easy for everyone to just join in. And once we just share the things that we know, then I think we can all just help each other just grow as individuals and learn things that we're not really aware of, because I think that's the beauty of social media. So if you make your content more informative and entertaining in a way, then I guess it will radiate through the screen and through the viewers or the audience. Yeah.
Great. Bev, we really would love to hear your thoughts, but I think we're having some connectivity issues.
Sorry.
So maybe you can, baka pwede mo na lang i-chat sa amin yung ano mo, yung tips mo. Gelo, you want to go to the next part?
All right. We have some expectations and questions from the live stream that are ongoing right now. Hi to everyone watching. What is the minimum length of a video on YouTube to have an effect in algorithm, not necessarily for monetization? Maybe Pablo can answer this question from our live stream.
Sure. In general, I would just say that most videos, be a few minutes, 10 minutes, even 20 minutes. But I think that if we go to a very specific answer to the length, there is actually no length, no minimum length. In fact, actually, this could be one of the fun facts. If you search shortest video on YouTube, you will find a video that is 1 second long that has more than 3 million views. So that by itself shows that it doesn't matter how long it is. The algorithm, if you want to call it algorithm, is, makes no difference.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Good to know. 1 second, 1 minute, but 1 million views. Amazing.
1 second.
1 second. Okay. And 1 million views. Grabe. Okay. For the next part, I just wanted to ask everybody, all of our guests here this afternoon, if you would like to share an individual, a message to our content creators to inspire them, or to, tell them how to be more strategic. Let's start with Rhea.
Inspire them. Well, there's actually another kind of little known fact that I wanted to share, if I may. For most of TikTok creators right now in PH, a lot of them are not aware of TikTok Pro yet. So you should check that out. Open up your app and check TikTok Pro. It's on your settings. It provides pretty basic analytics, but it will really help you in terms of gauging your audience. So go check that out. I won't delve too much on it anymore. In terms of last tips, I guess, what I would like to say is that TikTok, especially in the last few months, we've really become home for creative expression, and alam naman natin a lot of Filipinos are all very, very creative and talented, and in a short form video, there's so much room to get creative with whatever story you want to say, whether it's a dramatic story, or you want to dance, or you want to educate people. There's so much room to get creative on that. And so just start sharing your stories. Just check out the platforms, check out the features, and just check out what other people are doing, and just start. And eventually, you'll be able to build up your following already. And we're really looking forward to seeing your content on the platform.
Reminds me of Vlad's tip from last session. What about you, Pablo?
I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to be inspiring, but I'm going to say what I usually say, tell to all my friends and, loved ones. There are a lot of people, life is short, and there are a lot of people that if you look around, don't love what they do. Today, digital platforms, YouTube, but you can name any other, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, allow for a lot of people to be able to reach an audience and make a living out of something they love. It does really require a lot of work, but everything that is worth it requires hard work. So I think that if you do this introspective journey and you realize that you really like to connect with people, you really like to create content, you really like to give a certain message or create, today it is possible. It was not possible many years ago, few years ago. And so just go with it. Try. You have a phone, you have a computer, you have an idea. Just go, try. It will work. So I think that's what will be my message. YouTube, not YouTube, doesn't matter. Any platform, go try and get the most out of the tools that you have.
Great advice, Pablo. Okay. We'd like to thank both of you for sharing your thoughts and expertise.
Yes.
And Gelo, what about you? I want to ask for tips, your
Okay.
inspiring words.
I guess my tip for people starting out and making content, or they want to become a creator, I do agree with what Pablo and Rhea said. And adding to that, I guess it's just really, you have to start somewhere. You know, if you have an idea, everyone has access to social media, to all these social platforms that can reach all around the world. And yeah, I think we never really had this back in the day, as I've heard. But now anyone can take this opportunity. We can use this to make this our advantage. And I think my tip is, don't really focus on becoming a creator because you want to earn money or because you want to, garner the fame. I think all content creators by the end of the day have their own personal purpose and their reason as to why they are starting to put out their content, whether it's fashion, travel, lifestyle, or vlogs, or they just really want to inspire other people. So once you have that purpose, when you go through burnout, I think it's important that you just really realign yourself and remember your purpose as to why you started. I think in our world today, there's so many negative things and news that can happen around, but that's the beauty of what content creators can do. We can alleviate all those pains and all those negativity and just bring more positivity to the people who are watching. And yeah, just stay consistent, stay hopeful. I think the best things in life take time. So don't pressure yourself. I know it can be a bit overwhelming, especially with all the technicalities that come with it. But if you just really stay true to your content and to putting it out there without really caring about what other people have to say, by just really doing it, then I guess you can reach your definition of success. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. Again, thank you everybody for being with us today. I'd like to remind everybody that we have the next session, the third session on Wednesday, May 20th at 4 p.m., same time. And the topic for that session is production and content ownership. So now we're getting a little bit more technical. We're going to try to make it as simple as possible, of course, and as digestible as possible. So please join us and sign up to the event happening next Wednesday. Gelo?
Yes, and so that's next Wednesday. Very exciting. And if you're new to Adobers, don't forget to subscribe to our Adobe Studios with links that will be attached. Please subscribe to Adobe Studios FB page, which is Adobe Studios ABS-CBN, and YouTube channel Adobe Studios. And you can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, that is at Adobe Studios. So you can find more content and learn something new every day through Adobe Studios. So yeah, very exciting.
There we go. All right. Thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Keep safe and see you next Wednesday. Bye guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Stay safe.